Hello, welcome back to my channel. Antoinette here. I wasn't going to do a walkthrough of this deck, but I decided it would only be right because the owner has now updated her Etsy shop. It was out of print or had sold out, and she has now got more in. So I figured it would be polite to just show this one off because I love it. And it's an early birthday present to myself. So I'm using it already before the month comes to its close, and I'm really enjoying it. I saw this on Amethyst Ascension's channel, and I must have watched the walkthrough of her deck, probably, I kid you not, probably 20 times while I went back and forth and then just threw it into my basket and paid for it because there was 3 left on the Etsy shop. And I suddenly had that fear of, oh no, if I wait, I'm not going to get it. And I really, really want it because I've watched it that many times. So I was trying to convince myself that watching it, I would be okay. But I'm super pleased I own it. It comes in this packaging, so I've slipped it out of the packaging so I can show you all how beautifully it arrived. It came in bubble wrap in an envelope. And it's neatly done. So obviously I've taken it out from the bottom here. That's how I've managed to get it out. And it came with the ribbon tied to it and a card on the top which says Intuition. And this is from the deck. And then we have a thank you sticker on there as well. And this is the backs of the cards. So it's quite a thick cardstock, as you can see instantly from that. I can't tell you what the cardstock's made of or what's inside it. It overhand shuffles perfectly. What more can I say? So that's how it's come. So I've kept that one, and I will, of course, now that you've seen this, I can take it apart and I can pop the card into one of my journals or something as a keepsake. And here is the box. So it is by a lady called Zera DeRose, and I will put the link to her Etsy shop below. So it says here deck and book, but there's not a book. This is just a deck. I don't think there's an actual guidebook that goes with this, but there is a book that you can buy separately, or a journal that you can buy separately to work with the cards. And there are also some virtual Etsy journal pages that you can purchase and download as well. And then you can print off as many or as few as you want to work with. So I'll just bring it up so you can kind of read what we've got going on here. So journey into the magical and surreal world of artist Zera DeRose. A world of whimsical creatures and characters waiting to take you on an adventure of your soul. Discover the hidden secrets of your heart and your journey inwards as you journey inwards. Unconditional love for yourself and others. Pack your bags, begin your journey of discovery with the Oracle DeRose. Actually, it reads better on screen than it does in person. So yeah, so this is rose petal finish on the box, but the cards aren't. So it is a tuck box. I think that's quite evident for anyone that's watching. They aren't in order. When they arrive, they come in alphabetical order. And even though they were in alphabetical order, they have these numbers on the bottom. So, for instance, this is a C, and we're in number 36. So I don't know what the reference is to the numbers on the cards. And I actually don't know how many cards there are. I know there's obviously 53 or more. But again, they weren't in numerical order either. So they weren't in numerical 56. Maybe it's 56 cards. Sounds like anyway. So the one thing I noticed with my deck is it is cut really nicely, except for that final cut there. There's a few cards which are slightly shorter, therefore making that corner round look a bit less than tidy. So they're not as neat as this end is. So it's just something happened here with the cutting. But it doesn't make any difference, as I say, to overhand shuffling. What I might do if I'm feeling bored or brave is I might actually pull my guillotine out and take a millimetre off the tops of all the longer cards to bring them all down into length, and then I can just round them off with my corner rounder. But I've really got to be feeling it to do that. So these are a collage deck, if I haven't already said that. They are just beautiful. It's kind of it is a shiny cardstock, and they are thick. So, I don't know, 300 GSM, 275, 300, something like that. Possibly, off the top of my head. So bringing it a little bit closer, we'll go through the whole deck, and then so there is a keyword, and then that's it. So you can take from the image and the keyword what you need to. There are numbers, so you can take the numbers as well if you want to. And that really is as much into the deck as I have, examined. It's the colours and the collage on this, possibly maybe even just the roses, but the roses and all the moon faces, I just absolutely visually fell in love with this deck. Obviously, because it's an Etsy deck, it's an indie deck, therefore it's not a mass market price. And it's going to depend on where you are in the world as to how it translates into your pocket. I am not so fast to pull the trigger on Oracle decks. I usually am a bit more, well, actually watching a walkthrough 20 times, I don't think I could get any more discerning than that. But they have to do something. They have to hit a mark for me in order to make it into my collection. It has to be more than just pretty. The keywords have to be usable. The deck has to definitely jump through a lot more hoops than a tarot deck does, because I don't want just decks because they've got pretty artwork and a bunch of keywords that mean and do nothing. And of course, with keywords, it's a bit like with art. It's in the eye of the beholder, I think, as to what we think or feel and the relevance to them to our own personal kind of psyche. This deck, however, I have been using, and it does go with quite a few of my Oracle decks, so it does the rare thing that I don't do a lot of, where I can read with 2 Oracle decks at the same time. So that has been an unusual thing to be doing this month. As I say, I don't regret buying it. I'm really pleased I've got it. And I'll show you at the end with a few of the decks that I have around. So that's one of the freebies I got on top of my deck. That's one off the front of the box. I like that for the bees. I think this is probably one of the least colourful cards in the whole deck. Or the one that stood out the most to me as least colourful so far. I do like the sun card. I think it's this whole kind of old-fashioned, I don't even know what type of era we call this, but this era of art and collaging and the stylistically how it's been put together, that I've definitely in the last 12 months been kind of veering towards. Then we have the Night Garden. Okay, so that's the deck. And as I said, it shuffles perfectly okay. So if I bring it out, and then let's just see how it goes with pairings for decks. So I just thought if I do tarot, so we'll have Oracle and Tarot. So we'll start with, so the Unfolding Path, and I just thought we'll just go ahead and see how this does. Sorry about the lighting, it's a bit hit and miss here today because it's miserable. And in here we have some kind of tarot references as well, which was the other thing I quite liked. So we have the Emperor, and here we have the Magician. Knowledge with our Six of Wands. Listen with our High Priestess. So message-wise, they do seem to do quite well. Storm with our World. Gentleman and Ace of Pentacles. So let's put that one away. Let's see what else we've got. I wanted to go with something very me. So I thought we'd have a look at the standard Trionfi della Luna Marseille version from Patrick Valenza. Again, it's another indie deck, available from deviantmoon.com. I just thought colourway wise, and then you get to see how it looks with a pip deck. Summer with our Page of Swords. And then we have an Empress. Boundaries with our King of Wands. And what are you thinking? Is this one outdoing this one? I was going to put the rose down. I think if this was in the rose colourway, it would look completely different. Let me just have a look at... Does that make any difference? Maybe a little bit. Sometimes the light puts the glare on the card and then we can't quite see what's going on. So that is Trionfi. It would be a shame not to, wouldn't it? So I have the Queen Alice, which has been out and about doing the rounds. So, I mean, I thought these went very well together. Yeah, see, so Four of Cups and Solitude. Priestess with the Six of Cups. Decisions and the Moon. Must have put the whole deck in upside down. Grounded with Five of Cups. So I think the probably any Alice deck is going to go with this, is my gut feeling. So it doesn't have to be Dame Darcy's, but it's the only Alice deck that I have. So that's that one. I think it's going to go without saying, but I am really, truly expecting this to go very well with this one. So the Relative Tarot. And equally, I'm assuming the Stretch Tarot, the Cartster Postal Tarot will all do the same thing as well. This is the deck that I have. And I think that they already go colourways very nicely. Just make sure that the sheen's not... Hang on, let me just bring it across a bit more this way maybe. See if that does anything. Is that better? Oh yeah, I should have done that to start with. But from a colourway perspective, I thought it just kind of went... I haven't taken the edges off this, but if you took the edges off, then I guess they would just kind of like bleed into each other from a colour perspective. So rose glasses with our Queen of Wands. Eight of Cups with Remember. Release, Knight of Cups. Tower with Page of Wands. Interesting. And Epiphany moment with Five of Pentacles. So I think both colour-wise and message-wise, these two have done what I thought they were going to do. So I wouldn't expect it to be any other way with that one. I'll just get that back in its box as I'm cleaning up. Same vein or similar vein, kind of. The Dreamkeeper's Tarot. So it's that kind of same old collage-y style, and I just thought that they might go. I'm not 100% sure, but we'll just see. So we've got Balancing Act with the Hanged Woman. Okay, so we're instantly off onto a Strength with the Star. Soulmates with the Fool. Queen of Fire with Ace of Swords. Disconnected, Three of Swords. Yeah, so I think those are playing beautifully together. Home with the Two of Wands. And Set in Stone, Page of Swords. So I think they are doing exactly what I thought they were going to do. And that's what have we shown. So the Unfolding Path is now a mass market deck. You can now get that one from US Games. Available through US Games on Amazon, so make sure you go to US Games first. The Relative Tarot is mass market. Dame Darcy, Queen Alice isn't. The Triumphi isn't. Those are indie decks. But this one again is another mass market deck. So I haven't paired these, but I'm expecting these to look good on the table. So yeah, and I would also expect the Oracle that goes with this to play nicely as well. Celebration with our Eight of Cups. Cupid with the Moon. Integrity with our Ten of Pentacles. Journey with the Chariot. So yeah. Set Sail with our Ace of Cups. I like that. I've got Swan when we have all the butterflies being released there. Bee with the Three of Cups. Winter with our King of Wands. So they're quite juxtaposed, aren't they? So there's our mystical moments. And then I wanted to show a classic. Comes in a yellow box. This is from the Dark Forest, I think, on Etsy. So it is an indie deck, but it's kind of classic version of an indie deck. It's just that I prefer this colorway if I was going to have an indie deck of this particular imagery. So I just wanted to see or show, that it will work with your standard deck. And this is probably Eye in the Beholder again, the vintage one, mass market version, probably work just as well here. I'm sure you could just dirty up an old deck. Night Garden. Intuition, I don't know, message wise, so for me this isn't quite hitting the mark. I don't know how you're feeling about that. The Sun and the Moon. Masquerade. It's not quite, the message doesn't quite flow for me. Like I said, I don't know about you guys. So put that one away. And then I decided to put an oracle down that I know you haven't seen me use. So I'm going to put the Journey of a Lonely Soul oracle deck down with this one, because this is one that I have been using. And I've been using them this way around. And as you can see, I have written on this deck. So this one is a Rockpool trading. No, it's not. Excuse me. It's a low Scarabeo deck. And I think this is a much better shadow work deck for people who haven't been through all those deep, dark traumas that everyone talks about. This one to me feels more like it speaks to my shadow than the Broken Mirrors. Is it Broken Mirrors, Dark Mirrors deck, which is just still sat in my purgatory box. So this one, and then I've written prompts around the edges and questions. Anyway, that's not what we're here for. So we have imposing pediment with home. Stirrings of a welcome wind with disconnected. Not like a fairy tale with our Queen of Fire. Mystified innuendos with soulmates. That inward initiation with inner strength. So yeah, I thought that these were going really well together. And this is where, you know, quite a few of my oracles would probably sit nicely, including the soul cards, 1 or 2. Nicoletta, Ciccoli, tarots and oracles would probably go really nicely. Yeah, there's quite a few, you know, the Tarot of Vampires. But this is the oracle that I have found works or bridges the gap between working with more than one oracle. Normally my oracles kind of sit juxtaposed from each other, all giving separate messages, whereas this one seems to tie them all into each other. And that's what I've quite liked about having this one. Covenant of Regret with Remember. Okay, there we go. I will stop there with this one and just show you the backs on this one because I've been enjoying it so much. But I hope you've enjoyed this, and if you have this deck, what are your thoughts and feelings on it, and have you been enjoying it? Until the next one, take care. Bye bye.